Hello, my name's Richard B. Brookes and I'm doing the FiveWhoFans Q&A. You lot have sent me loads of questions that I'm now going to sit around answering because we thought that would be a good idea. Sorry. Scott Leeson asks, how's your day been? Hello, Scott. Thanks for your question. Yeah, it was alright. How was yours? And I know, you know, this is going to be a bit of a protracted conversation. You asked me a question a week ago, I only get round to answering now, in a format that's very difficult to reply to, but I'm sure we'll come up with something. Edward Beadle asks, what do you think of the 8th Doctor? Love him. He's fab. It's Paul McGann. Paul McDam. He's just so lovely. He's got a face that you just love. He's that's what I think about the 8th Doctor. Dominic Bell asks, what is your most hated episode of all time? Robot episode 2. Come on. Ian Kearns asks, what was your favourite episode this season and why did you pick Sleep No More? Listen, Sleep No More wasn't bad, okay? There were a lot of worse episodes this series. You know, I was asleep at the time and I'd wake up and everyone's decided that Sleep No More is the worst episode in the world. It's a good episode. What of it? Don't know what my face is doing. Dominic Miller asks, how are you coping with the thought of Chibnall taking over? Every day is different, but you know, you just have to just focus and pull yourself out of bed every morning and just deal with it because it's happening and there's nothing we can do. Oliver Hayho asks, what is your favourite Big Finish audio? I really like the Paul McGann ones, obviously. I really like the Colin ones. But to pick a favourite is asking quite a lot. I think one of my favourites is actually Ish, just because it was the episode that sort of taught me personally how to love Colin Baker because of the just seminal performance that he gives in it. But another favourite is probably a Scherzo by Rob Shearman because it's written by Rob Shearman and I feel like I'd be letting the side down if I didn't say Rob Shearman's name 3 times in a video because I've heard that if you say Rob Shearman's name enough times in a video, he appears in the comment section. I think that's being a little bit hopeful. I mean, I'd love him to be here so I could just give him a hug and rub his beard for luck if he's still got a beard at the moment. I've not Google image searched him in a while. I should probably get on that. But yeah, Scherzo-ish. Ruben Roper asks, how many Nymons have you seen today? 3. I have seen 3 Nymons today. Next. Kieran Cooper asks, how many episodes should be in series? Well, I think the perfect format for Doctor Who is the quintessential format is 13 episodes in a Christmas special, just like there's going to be this year in 2016. 13 episodes and a Christmas special. Holla holla. Irene Richard asks, should the 13th incarnation of the Doctor be a woman or unlucky? I don't know about how lucky he should be, but I'd like the Doctor to be a woman at some point just because I thought it was a good idea when Starbuck became a woman in Battlestar Galactica. It did his character a lot of favours. No, I don't necessarily think the next Doctor should be a woman, but at some point it would be great, yeah. Next. Jack Stevens asks, Drashig versus Candyman, who would win? Drashig, obviously, and I'm not saying that because you can currently buy one of our fabulous Drashig t-shirts at the FiveWhoFans Redbubble page. No, I'd say that anyway. Andrew Blewett asks, what helps you wake up in the morning, cereal or oatmeal? I don't eat breakfast. okay? Breakfast makes you lethargic. And that's it's not a scientific fact because I just made that up, but I don't eat breakfast because I'm quite lazy. Stew Bag Full, Stuart Hardy, asks, what does purple mean to you? Well, Stuart, the colour purple has a great significance with me, and if I'd watched the film, or at least read the Wikipedia page, I would tell you a little bit about that. But as it happens, it's my favourite colour, and I don't distinctly remember a time when it wasn't my favourite colour. I remember wanting a purple lightsaber as a child after playing this game called Star Wars Jedi Knight Mistress of the Sith, where one of the characters you play as has a purple lightsaber, and I was like, I want one of those, and why can't I have one of those right now? And then Samuel Jackson got one in the films, and I was incredibly jealous. Next, William Mumford asks, do you believe it's even worth speculating on the next companion at this point? No, William, it's not worth speculating at this point, and I pity those who do, but it's probably going to be Maisie Williams or something like that. Next. Jacob Keith asks, do you feel that with the delay of the next series of Doctor Who, we may be approaching another Colin Baker style dilemma? Next. Ginger Animator asks, can you bring back John Dranston? No, no one likes John. I'm glad we got rid of him. Dan Lloyd asks, RTD, Moffat, Chibnall, shag, marry, kill. I'd probably shag Stephen Moffat because he's very preoccupied with sex, so I imagine that would be quite an interesting experience. I'll probably marry Russell because there's something so cuddly and marvellous about Russell, and I just want to marry him. I don't want to kill Chris Chibnall, but I imagine if I did, there would be a very interesting detective drama that could rise from that scenario. That's actually a Broadchurch reference. So there we go. Edwards bracket Nigma asks, why is Series 1 just fabulous? I don't know, Edward, why are you so fabulous? Next. Captain Caldwell asks, what are you a scientist of? Well, Captain, what are you a captain of? I'm actually an engineer, and I have a degree in materials science, which is basically I have a BEng. I'm not sure if that actually qualifies me as being an engineer, but I have a degree in an engineering subject, and it's got science in the name. And basically, like Billy used to just come up with the most inane scientific questions possible, and I used to just have to answer them. And I could normally sort of manage it. It was usually a bit of trouble because Billy has quite the imagination. So I got this reputation for being the scientist, and that's how that happened. But I'll talk more about that a bit later, I guess. Next. Any Thimula Murders asks, biscuit or cake? Biscuit! Obviously, it's going to be a biscuit, isn't it? We are talking about, unless we're talking about Jaffa cakes, in which case they are cakes, but I will still eat them regardless. I will classify them as a biscuit just so I can include them in my cache of biscuits that I am assuming might be coming my way from answering this question, assuming that McVitie's are watching and they'd like to send me some cakes or biscuits. Look, just send me things. I love biscuits, cakes. We'll make the next Doctor the Jaffa Cake Doctor if they send us like copious amounts of Jaffa cakes. That sounds great. Oh, this has been a great question. I've enjoyed this question. Next. The Slightly Evil Doctor. If there's a classic Dalek in my bathroom, should I be worried? No, you shouldn't be worried unless you really, really need to go to the bathroom, in which case you should probably find another bathroom to do your business in. Next. Paul T. Connors asks, how did you become a FiveWho fan, and how do you decide on what videos to do and when to release them? Well, Joel, if that is your real name, I became a FiveWho fan because about 5 years ago I was working with John Cranston on a fan film project, which fan films are plenty back when I was younger, it was ridiculous. And we were in a Skype chat and Billy was there because I just met Billy having worked on a bit of Time Agent series, I think it was series 3 that they were filming while we were filming our fan film. And I just met him after that, and we were talking about, John was talking about this thing he used to do called FiveWhoFans, and I said, oh, that sounds interesting. Of course I'd like to have something to do with that because I get on quite well with you, John, and I think this would be an interesting thing. And so yeah, we just built it from there, and I pitched in some ideas and thoughts about how it should work. I'm really grateful that I suggested that we don't do daily videos because having a full-time job, I knew that I just couldn't commit to that. And I think it is really, I think the format as we created it was really good, and a lot of people seem to have resonated with that, which is a good thing. As for how we come up with ideas for videos, normally we just have brainwaves. Like, I'll be at work and I'll think, oh, I'm going to make a video about this, or someone says, oh, wouldn't it be great if we did something like this, and someone will have a brainwave at some point and say, right, I'm going to go away and do a video about that. Sometimes we're just having a chat on Skype and a video idea will just form out of thin air and we'll just go and film it, boom, done. It's so many ways. And then as for working out what goes when, like, we'll plan in advance if we're going to have some fancy ideas. Like One Who Fan is something we were planning for ages, whereas the Siberian prison thing that I was talking about earlier, that was just sort of something that happened because plan A and plan B just wouldn't work and I was too lazy to do them. But yeah, no. I mean, it depends. It depends what you're trying to do, what the effect of what you're trying to do is. Quite a lot of the time, things happen to be very sort of last minute, especially with me, and especially back with John. Like when we were doing John and Elaine, it's like last minute. The last minute for John and Elaine was like 3 or 4 weeks that were just completely mad, and everyone was getting roped in. Billy was doing colouring, I was doing lip syncing. Like if you watch the end, like the last probably minute or 2 of John and Elaine, that's the point during the lip syncing when I just started going off, and I just completely messed everything up. And that's only if you're looking really closely, mind. Yeah, it depends. It depends. If you're making a YouTube channel, just make stuff that like makes you like don't imagine that you have a specific audience that you have to make content for. Like what we did with FiveWhoFans was we make stuff like to try and make everyone else like laugh a lot, and the funnier things are that made us laugh, the more we wanted to make videos about them. And that's how quite a lot of the early stuff on FiveWhoFans happened. Yeah, it depends. Whatever you want to do, just find something that makes you and your friends laugh, like really genuinely laugh. Like tell them an idea or like pitch them this scene, and if they're not bursting out loud, then just think, well, let's try something else. But I remember the first time that Billy showed me the Ninth Doctor Rampage, and I literally fell off my chair. I was laughing so hard. Like, you have to like come up with something that just no one like has done before, or like no one expects, or just something just ridiculously funny. This is how to do FiveWhoFans right there. That's what I'm suggesting. Anyway, next question. Luke Eptinstall asks, which console room is your favourite? I really like the Paul McGann one. Boom, done. That's my Q&A. I hope you've had fun. I'm probably going to edit this down and turn them into an extra video, which you'll find somewhere else. But I've been Richard B. Brookes, you've been watching FiveWhoFans. My hair has been very inconsistent, and I hope you have a very nice day, and we'll do another Q&A like this at some point in the not too distant future. Later on this week, it's Daniel Sherratt and John Granston. Okay, I'm done now. Bye.